Inyong lahat. Pakibati naman po ang inyong mga katabi ng good evening. My dear brothers and sisters, I am Father Aldwin Ivan Herolao. I am a 30-year-old priest. 30 years old pa lang po ako. And I am a 3-year-old priest. 3 taon pari pa lang ako. I am currently assigned as the Assistant Parish Priest of San Felipe Neri Parish in Mandaluyong. Labas po ha, hindi po loob. Now, I wish to introduce myself to you this evening using 3 of my favorite restaurants. Is that fine with you? Papakilala ko po sarili ko using 3 of my favorite restaurants. Now, for the first restaurant, pwede niyong hulaan ano yung first favorite restaurant ko? Anyone? Just shout it out. Max's, hindi. Jollibee, wala sa listahan. Jerry's Grill, masyadong mahal. Alright, okay. O, clue, katapat ni KFC. Ano po? My first favorite restaurant is McDonald's. You know why? You know why? By any chance, is there someone here who studied at Paco Catholic School? By any chance lang? Wala. Ay, ayun. Sir, elementary, I will bet, pupusta lang po ako, gagambol. Can you recall the restaurant in front of the church? Grade 2 pa, baka wala pa to. Nonetheless, sa tapat po ng Paco Catholic School right now, sir, mula nung prep ako, that is 2001 until 2008, and up until now, 2026, sa tapat ng Paco Catholic School, mayroon pong McDonald's. Isipin nyo, for 7 straight school years, lagi kong madadaanan yung McDonald's. Day in, papasok sa school at day out pagkatapos ng school. No wonder, my favorite is McDonald's. At kapag nasa McDonald's, hulaan nyo ano favorite ko. Chicken? No? Ha? French fries? Okay. My favorite sa McDonald's po ay Hot Fudge Sundae. Wala pong makakatalo niyan. Kahit yung Hot Fudge Sundae ng Jollibee, they cannot beat the Hot Fudge Sundae of McDonald's. However, itong Hot Fudge Sundae ng McDonald's, may kapares yan. Ano kapares? French fries. Maninintabi po ako. Kung sino pong kumakain dito ng French fries at sinasawsaw pa rin sa ketchup, sasabihin ko po sa inyo, laos na kayo. Have you tried that? Have you tried that? Ano po ang lasa ng isang French fries? Mainit at maalat. Isasawsaw mo sa Hot Fudge Sundae na malamig at matamis. What do you call that? Perfect combination. Kaya mamaya po, after my talk, alam nyo na po saan ililibre si Father Aldwin. Now, what's my second favorite restaurant? Take a guess. Ha? O, clue, katapat ulit ni McDonald's. My second favorite restaurant is Kentucky Fried Chicken. Ayun na po, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Tatapatin ko po tayo. I will admit to you, as a priest, marami pong nag-aabot sa akin. Alam niyo naman po yan. Hindi na ako magiging naive or innocent. Many, Father, pang ano mo, pang kain mo. Father, pang libre mo. So, whatever I receive, kahit papano, may itinatabi po ako for little savings lang, for emergency. Pag nakakaipon ako, 1 beses sa 1 buwan, what will I do? Mama, may mga naipon naman akong kaunti dito, mga bigay-bigay. Treat naman kita, ma. Saan kami kakain ni Mama? Familiar kayo sa Power Plant Mall? Familiar kayo sa Glorieta? Yan, dadaling ko, Mama, pinagpari mo ko. Ngayon pari na ako, ikaw naman, babalik ko naman yung favor sa'yo. So, pili ka, Ma, sa mga malls dyan. Anong gusto mo? Is it Japanese? Is it Chinese? Is it Filipino? Is it Mexican? Whatever, pick, Ma. Alam niyo po, nanay ko, bagamat meron akong naitabi, kahit sabihin kong, any restaurant piliin mo, what will my mom say to me? Father Aldwin, anak, may bago akong saing na kanin sa bahay. Mainit pa. Ganito na lang gawin natin. Punta tayo ng KFC, order tayo ng bucket of 6 samahan mo ng macaroni salad o take out na lang natin, yan na ang dinner natin. Kaya kahit may kaunti po kung naitatabi, sa dulo ng araw, ang paborito namin ng nanay ko, hindi po yung mamahaling restaurants, KFC lang po. So alam nyo na po yung iti-take out sa akin pauwi sa nanay ko. At panghuli po, take a guess, what's my last favorite restaurant? Ha? Take a guess. My last favorite restaurant, clue, it is a pizza parlor. My last favorite restaurant is Pizza Hut. Now, my dear brothers and sisters, I will admit to you again, if taste lang, kung lasa lang ang pagbabasehan po natin, I have to say to you, the most delicious for me pizza in town is Yellow Cab Pizza. Most especially, Manhattan Meat Lovers. However, they do not offer buy one, take one. It's so expensive. Yellow Cab restaurant is very expensive. So what do? I go to the popular Pizza Hut. Because Pizza Hut did something to pizza that cannot be imitated by other pizza restaurant. May ginawa ang Pizza Hut sa pizza na di magaya ng ibang restaurant. Ano po iyon? Kapag ba kumakain ng pizza, whenever you eat the pizza, do you eat the bread, the thick bread outside? What do you call it? The crust? Personally, I do not eat it. Di ko po kinakain yung tinapay. Nakakabusog kasi kaagad. Pero ginawa ni Pizza Hut para kainin mo yung makapal na tinapay, pinauso po nila yung tinatawag na stuffed crust. What did they put in that bread? Either cheese or sausage. Para kahit dulo, kakainin mo. Now, is it all right with you that your parish, those who attended this recollection, may I divide you according to my favorite restaurants? Okay. I want you to follow my right hand. I will draw an imaginary line. Follow ha? Parang magdodrawing ako ng laser. Follow my hand, okay? Follow my hand. Tignan nyo yung division na gagawin ko. Okay. Naguhitan ko na. Everyone on the left of my hand, kindly stand up. Everyone on the left of my hand. Lahat ng nasa kaliwa po, tayo. Tayo. All right. You will be, my dear brothers and sisters, my first favorite restaurant. What's my first favorite restaurant? McDonald's. Here is my instruction. Are you listening to me, Group 1? Are you listening to me, Group 1? Okay, very good. Whenever you hear the word McDonald's, I want you to do a big letter M on your head. Can I see your big letter M? All right, very good. Let's give a round of applause to McDonald's group. Kindly sit down na po. Now, I will draw again another line, okay? Follow my hand, ha? Follow my hand. I will draw again an invisible line. Follow it, follow, follow. Okay. Everyone again on the right of my hand except group 1, kindly stand up. Everyone on the right of my hand, kindly stand up. Okay, even here. Stand up, stand up. All right. You will be my second favorite restaurant. Okay? Now, whenever you hear the words ha, not letters. Whenever you hear the words Kentucky Fried Chicken, I want you to flap your wings. Can I see your wings? Okay, let's give a round of applause to the Kentucky Fried Chicken group. And for the third and last group, lahat pa po nang dito matter, everyone who has not yet stood up. Okay, you will be my third favorite restaurant. What's my third favorite restaurant? Pizza Hut. Whenever you hear the words Pizza Hut, kindly make a little hut in front of your face. A little hut. Okay, let's give Pizza Hut a round of applause. My exam po, my instructions are rather simple. Madali lang po ang aking instructions. Anong instruction ni Father Aldwin? Whenever you hear the name of your restaurants, eto lang po stand up, action, sit down. In Tagalog, pagka narinig pangalan ng restaurant, tayo, action, upo. Mabilis lang yon, okay? Pagkatas nyo umaksyon, upo na kaagad para di na mapahiya. Okay? So what's the instruction of Father Aldwin whenever you hear the name of your restaurant? Tayo, action, upo. Mabilis lang po yan. Everyone understood my instruction? Now, for the McDonald's group, I hired a choreographer at hindi kami nagkasundo ng choreographer. Okay? Sa choreographer ko, whenever he is saying McDonald's, he traces with his finger, letter M. Do not imitate it. Do not imitate it. Stick to our instruction. What will you do when you hear McDonald's? Very good. Second, KFC. My choreographer will not say KFC. She will say Kentucky Fried Chicken. Understood? Malinaw po? Ready na po tayo? I want you to listen carefully, ha? Listen carefully. Again, whenever you hear the name of your restaurant, anong instruction ni Father Aldwin? Tayo, action, upo. Mabilis lang yan. Alright? Are you ready? St. Anthony of Padua Parish. Okay.
Pizza Hut, a Pizza Hut, Kentucky Fried Chicken and a Pizza Hut, a Pizza Hut, a Pizza Hut, Kentucky Fried Chicken and a Pizza Hut, McDonald's, McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken and a Pizza Hut, McDonald's, McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken and a Pizza Hut.
Madali? Madali lang? Kaya, malinaw po, no? So again, the instruction of Father Aldwin, quite simple. Tayo, action, upo. Are you ready to continue it? Pwede ko na pong ituloy? So again ha, my dear students, I want you to listen carefully, okay? Kung kakayanin tumayo, tayo po tayo para mawala yung antok natin. Is that fine? Okay, continue po natin.
Faster. Pizza Hut, a Pizza Hut, Kentucky Fried Chicken and a Pizza Hut, a Pizza Hut, a Pizza Hut, Kentucky Fried Chicken and a Pizza Hut, McDonald's, McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken and a Pizza Hut, McDonald's, McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken and a Pizza Hut. Faster. Pizza Hut, a Pizza Hut, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Pizza Hut, a Pizza Hut, Pizza Hut, Kentucky Fried Chicken and a Pizza Hut, McDonald's, McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken and a Pizza Hut, McDonald's, McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken and a Pizza Hut. Faster? Pizza Hut, a Pizza Hut, Kentucky Fried Chicken and Pizza Hut, a Pizza Hut, a Pizza Hut, Kentucky Fried Chicken and Pizza Hut, McDonald's, McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken and Pizza Hut, McDonald's, McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken and Pizza Hut. Faster? Pizza!
Okay, let's give each other a round of applause. Alam nyo po, every time I give recollections, nagdadalawang isip ako. I have doubts whether to give this as an to give this as a icebreaker. You know why? I'm afraid, as you go home, your family members will ask you, what did you learn from the recollection? And you will say, oh, nothing but Pizza Hut, Kentucky Fried Chicken, and McDonald's. Anyway, the topic given to us this evening, can we all together read? Lent. Okay, actually you have a very, very nice theme for this evening to journey with us along the remaining days of Lent. However, I am quite a professor. Since this is the topic given to me, ito yung binigay nyo sa aking subject, we will, this evening, himay-himay it word per word. Is that fine with you? To give justice to the theme. So what's the very first word of our theme this evening? Lent. Correct? Lent. So we will begin with Lent. With the question, together. What is Lent? I have here in my pocket rosary bracelets. Meron po akong rosary bracelets dito. These rosary bracelets are not your ordinary bracelets. You know why? It's my grandmother who made this. Lola ko po ang gumawa nito. At na-bless ko na po ito. Now, I will give this rosary bracelet to those who can answer correctly my questions. Ibibigay ko po ito doon sa makakasagot ng tama sa mga tanong ko. Are you ready? Should you wish to answer, please respectfully raise your hands. Raise your hand up to give chance to other. Okay? So, pag sinigaw mo yung sagot, kahit tama, pero di ka nagtaas ng kamay, no point, no rosary bracelet. Okay? First question, together we read. Together we read. Basa muna ng tanong. Okay. Ate, what's your name?
Ashley.
Ashley, ano ang Tagalog ng Lent?
Quaresma.
Tignan nga natin kung tama. The Tagalog of Lent, is it Quaresma? Okay, let's give Ashley a round of applause. We're in the season of Lent. Sa Tagalog, tayo ay nasa panahon ng Quaresma. Now, second question. Together we read. Quaresma sounds like the Spanish word. Come here, come here. Sounds like the Spanish word blank. Kuya, what's your name?
Anthony po.
Anthony. Wow, kapangalan ng ating patron. Quaresma sounds like the Spanish word.
40.
Lakas niyo po.
40.
Let's see kung tama siya. 40. Let's give Anthony a round of applause. Okay. With all honesty, Quaresma is a Spanish word. Because remember, we were colonized by the Catholic Spaniards for more than 300 years. So we adopted their Spanish word for Lent, that is Quaresma. But they got the word Quaresma from the Spanish word cuarenta. Okay, next question. Together we read. Cuarenta in English is... Yes, ma'am in yellow, madam in yellow. Come here. What's your name po? What's your here po?
Julie.
Julie, 40 in English is
40.
40. Let's see if her answer is correct. Okay, let's give Julie a round of applause. Bonus question. 40 in Tagalog is... 40 in Tagalog is... Kuya in the blue shirt. Kuya in the blue shirt. All right. Can you shout your name, please? Andrew. 40 in Tagalog is? Apat na po. Let's see if his answer is correct. Wow, very good. Andrew, kindly give this to Andrew. Apat na po. I realized when I was typing the answer, apat na po is apat na 10. Okay. Now, medyo mahirap na tong next question. I hope you get this answer. I hope you get the answer correctly. Ano yung binibilang na 40, 40, apat na po ngayong season of Lent? Ano yung binibilang natin na 40? Yes, ma'am. Sorry po. What's your name? Sol? Sol, as in the sun. Sol, ano yung binibilang na 40, 40, apat na po ngayong season of Lent? 40 days. Tignan nga natin kung ang binibilang natin, yung 40, 40, apat na po ay days. Let's give Sol a round of applause. Kindly write it down on your notebooks whenever we celebrate the season of Lent. Unlike Advent, that is rather fluctuating in days, Lent is always constant. It will always be 40 days. 40 is quite a significant number in the Bible. Number one, go to the Old Testament. Can you recall how many years did the Israelites wandered in the desert before they got into the promised land or Canaan? 40 years. Now, when Jesus went into the desert to prepare for his passion, death, and resurrection, how many days was he in the desert? 40 days. That is the pattern. 40 is significant because it is rather giving you a hint that something special is about to happen every after 40. Old Testament, 40 years. What came after 40 years? Promised land. Eto, what came after 40 days ni Jesus? Okay, before we get to that, next question, together we read. Para saan ang 40 days of Lent? Anong gagawin natin? What will we do? Para saan? Bakit may 40 days of Lent? What's the whole 40 days? What's the whole season of Lent for? Okay? Oh, you, kuya. Oh, come here. What's your name first? Prince, come here. Quick. Para saan ang 40 days of Lent?
Ano po?
One word lang ang sagot. Pwedeng English, pwedeng Tagalog. In English, it starts with the letter P.
Prayer po.
Prayer. God bless you, kuya. Go back to your seat. Para saan ang 40 days? Para saan ang 40 days? Madaming old Rose. Okay, what's your name? Lotus. Para saan ang 40 days of Lent? Preparation. Let's see if her answer is correct. To prepare. Maghanda. Okay, kindly give this to. Gusto ko pong tanungin. Gaano katagal nyo bago sinagot yung mga boyfriend ninyo or asawa ninyo before? 40 days din. Nagano ka rin, nag-fasting para sagutin. Why did I ask you that question? This is my point of view. When I was a seminarian, pasintabi po, may niligawan po ako nung seminarista ako. Okay? To be honest with you, I really like those women, those ladies, na pinapahaba yung pagpapaligaw. Yung medyo difficult makuha yung oo. You know why? This is me lang ha. We have different preferences. You know why? Kasi kapag pinatagal mo ko, ibigay sa akin yung oo mo, pinaghirapan ko, once I get it, iingatan ko yan. Buwan binilang ko bago mo binigay yung oo. Libo-libo ginastos ko para makuha ko yung oo. Now that I got it from you, at pinatagal mo, pinahirapan mo ko, pinaghandaan ko talaga yung oo mo, now that I have it, I will treasure it. I will not make it mawawala na lang basta-basta. You understand me? Perhaps, this is also the whole point of the season of Lent. Can you go back to your calendars? What do we celebrate on June 12? Independence Day. Do we have 40 days of preparation for Independence Day? None. Do we even have a day of preparation for Independence Day? None. So what happens when June 12 comes? Nothing! Because you did not even prepare for it. Dumating lang. Kaya nung dumating yung June 12, ay, titreat ko as holiday, as pahinga. Not as something na, ay, kalayaan namin. Wala man lang 3 days before preparation, before Independence Day. Wala mang novena days before June 12. Do you feel me? Kaya dahil hindi pinaghandaan, mabilis pakawalan. Pero ang pinaghahandaan, inaalagaan at pinapahalagahan. So Father, why do we need to prepare? Because something special will happen after 40 days. And what is that? Together we read the question. Ano ang pinaghahandaan? Okay, again, raise your hand. Ano ang pinaghahandaan for the 40 days? Ano yung something good that kailangan pa nating ligawan ng Panginoon for 40 days para lang ibigay? Yes, ma'am, what's your name?
Susan.
Susan, ano ang pinaghahandaan natin for the past days?
Easter or Christ Resurrection.
Let's see. Ang galing, pinrovide niya lahat together. Resurrection or Easter Sunday. Now, anong meron sa Easter at Resurrection? Anong meron doon? Why do we have to prepare for it? Together we read. Basa. Anong meron sa resurrection or Easter Sunday? Why do we have to prepare for it? Bakit di kayo makasagot? Anong meron sa resurrection or Easter Sunday? Dito naman, puro, yes ate, come here. What's your name po?
Lovely po.
Lovely. Anong meron sa Resurrection Day, Easter Sunday? Why do we have to prepare ourselves for it?
Ano po, pagkabuhay po ni Jesus Christ.
Tinagalog mo lang yung resurrection. God bless you, Lovely. Anyone? Try. What's in Resurrection and Easter Sunday? Anong meron? Bakit we have to prepare for that day? Yes, ma'am. What's your name? Charm, come here. Anong meron sa Resurrection or Easter Sunday?
Salvation.
Salvation. Nag-Google ka ba? Let's see if her answer is correct. Salvation. Kaligtasan, Charm. Here's your rosary. Okay. Kuha niyo po yun. It is on Easter Sunday that we became Catholics. Nung siya'y muling nabuhay, doon nagkaroon ng halaga yung ating pananampalataya. Otherwise, if He did not rise from the dead, then Jesus will just be an ordinary person. But it is on Easter Sunday that He proved to the world, I conquered your greatest fear. I conquered your greatest fear, that is death. May ibang Diyos ba na namatay? Yung mga Diyos-Diyosan mo, yung mga gumagawa ng kulto-kulto, yung umaaway sa atin, nagawa na bang muling nabuhay? No. That's why our faith is special, because our God conquered something that was not conquered in the past. Dito niya binigay ang ating kaligtasan. And, kung yan ang pinagmamayabang natin, naligtas tayo, kung yan ang pinakamagandang regalo niya sa atin na hindi na tayo takot mamatay because He has given us kaligtasan or salvation, hindi ba marapat that before He gives us that greatest gift, our hearts are prepared? Isn't it that way? Kung yung oo nga ng girlfriend mo, ng asawa mo dati, pinaghandaan mo, oo pa lang yan ha, what more kaligtasan? So ayaw masayang ng Catholic Church na binigyan niya tayo ng salvation, we are granted entrance to heaven na para sa ating isang regular Sunday lang. That's why we have to prepare ourselves for the past 40 days. Am I clear so far? Malinaw? Ito, last question. Paano natin ito paghahandaan? Clue. Tatlo yung sagot dito. Ilan pa rosary ko? Teka, refill tayo ng rosary. Okay. 3 answers are correct. Pwedeng isang tao lang mabigay niyo yung tatlo. Okay, you kuya, what's your name? What's your name?
Elijah po.
Okay, Elijah. Paano natin paghahandaan itong kaligtasan na to? Paano natin paghahandaan? 3 ways prescribed by church. Paano natin paghahandaan ng Easter Sunday?
Confession.
God bless you. Okay. Yes, ma'am. What's your name?
Lenny,
Lenny. Paano natin to paghahandaan? 3 ways.
through prayers, almsgiving, and fasting.
Okay. Kamuntik nang makalimutan yung huli ah. Okay, let's see. Screen. Prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. Let's give Lenny a round of applause. Prescribe ito ng church. Di ko na to elaborate because I believe you have been doing this already, right? You're already fasting. What's fasting in Tagalog? Pag-aayuno or pag-iwas sa maraming kain, yung mga 1 meal per day. Ano yung almsgiving? Pagbibigay ng limos. We are encouraged to share our resources. Alam nyo na yan. And lastly, prayer, magdasal, more time for prayer. Now, going back, malinaw na sa atin kahit papano ang Lent. Did I give justice to what Lent is? Simply put, what are we, anong kailangan gawin natin? Hindi yung tatlo ha. Para saan ang 40 days of Lent? Prepare. Malinaw? Prepare. Every time the church wears violet, bear this in mind. Every time the church wears violet, 3 things ang maaalala. It's either someone passed away, May pumanaw ba? Kaya tayo nagluluksa? Wala naman. So, X na yan. Number 2, that the church wears violet, the sacrament of confession. Bagamat di nagko-confess, but the whole point is, talaga bang met ba yan? Nagko-confess tayo. Is that the whole point of the 40 days of Lent? No. The third and possible reason, pag nakita nyo church naka-violet, walang namatay, wala namang nagko-confess. Bakit naka-violet si Father? Most likely, we are in the season of preparation. Bakit? Hindi lang Lent yan. Kailan pa yung isang season of preparation? Advent. At ano naman pinaghahandaan natin doon? Christmas, kapanganakan ni Jesus. So far, is Lent understood? Because I will not proceed to the next topic if Lent is not clear to you. Did I give justice? Alam nyo na ang Lent. Okay, review. What's the Tagalog of Lent? Quaresma sounds like the Spanish word. 40 in English is? 40 in Tagalog is? Anong 40 ulit? 40 in Tagalog is? Apat na po. What is this 40? Apat na po, 40 that we are counting in the season of Lent. Days. Very good. What are we going to do? What are we, para saan itong 40 days of Lent? To prepare. And what are we preparing for? Resurrection or Easter Sunday. Why? What's there in Easter Sunday or resurrection? Salvation. Ang mahalaga, pinaghahandaan. Ang pinaghahandaan, nagiging mahalaga. Okay? That's the whole point. Ayaw nating masayang yung kaloob sa atin ng Panginoon. And since we will receive kaligtasan, salvation on Easter Sunday, when someone knocks on your doors and asks you, kapatid, ligtas ka na ba? Anong sagot nyo? Opo, ligtas na po ako. Ibalik mo yung tanong, kayo po ba, ligtas na po ba? Okay? At kailan natin tatanggapin ng kaligtasan? Kailan natin tatanggapin? Easter Sunday. Malinaw? Okay. Can I proceed to the second word of your theme? Yes, very good. Thank you. What's the second word? A journey. Thank you for including journey part of your theme. Why? Because, again, going back a while ago, about the number 40, please bear in mind that when we enter the season of Lent, we are joining someone in his 40 days of journey or travel. And who is that person? Si Jesus. Please remember, di ko na memorize yung gospel. But, Jesus went to the desert for 40 days and 40 nights. So, Jesus also traveled. He journeyed, correct? And we know that if He traveled, if He journeyed, there's day 1. Alam nga namang magsimula siya, day 2 kaagad. No. Laging ang journey, mayroong simula, may pinanggalingan, at mayroong katapusan, mayroong pupuntahan. At part ng 40 na yon yung, remember this? The 3 temptations of Jesus. That's why I like it so much that you included journey in your theme. Because as of this very moment, if you can imagine it, si Jesus nasa disyerto pa rin. Gutom pa rin siya. Di pa rin siya kumakain. Wala siyang kasama. And if you are feeling quite that way, for this past 3 weeks or 4 weeks of Lent, sinasamahan mo si Jesus at sinasamahan ka rin ni Jesus. Now, I wish us to go back to the dictionary meaning of journey. Together we read. Something, together. Second, number 2, My dear brothers and sisters, I do not wish you to focus on the word travel or passage or traveling. Rather, whenever you see the word journey, alam nyo namang synonymous yung travel eh. But whenever you see the word journey, kayo po nagbigay sa akin ng word na journey, ha? I want you to focus on its meaning Together we read. Ang isang taong nagjo-journey, may pinanggalingan at laging mayroong pupuntahan. Simple as that. Ang tao may pinanggalingan at mayroong pupuntahan. At madalas, ang pupuntahan, ibang lugar. Hindi from one place, tas babalik lang doon. No. Travel always, journey always entails one from the word from, pinanggalingan at to, pupuntahan. Father, why emphasis on from and the word to? Pakibasa po. I still have rosaries here. Kindly raise your hand sa gustong sumagot. Kailan natin sinimula ng panahon ng Kwaresma? Yes, you ate. What's your name? What's your name?
Teen po.
Okay, Tin. Kailan natin sinimulan ang panahon ng Kwaresma? Or when did we begin the season of Lent?
Ash Wednesday.
Ash Wednesday. Is her answer correct? Let's see. Ash Wednesday. Let's give Tin a round of applause. During Ash Wednesday, that was around 3 Wednesdays ago or 4 Wednesdays ago, what did we priests put on your foreheads? Ash. Kaya nga Ash Wednesday eh. Can you please Tagalog ash for me? Abo. I have this corny acronym during my homily last Ash Wednesday. Again, trigger warning, this is a corny acronym. What did we put on your foreheads in Tagalog? Abo. What's the spelling of abo? A-B-O. I made an acronym because remember, I had 6 masses last Ash Wednesday. And my very first mass was among the elementary students of Yohelio Rodriguez Integrated School from grade 1 to grade 6. So sabi ko, ang highfalutin ang theology ng Lent, highfalutin ang theology ng Ash Wednesday, how will I make grade 1 to 3 remember Ash Wednesday? So I came up with a corny acronym about ABO, A-B-O. Please, for the remaining days of Lent, how many days do we have until Easter Sunday? Less than 20 days. Kindly ask yourself this question, ABO, A-B-O. Together we read. Oh, basa. Ready, end. Nagsabi ako na corny, ha? Nag-warning ako. Pero para maalala ng grades 1 to 3, anong natutunan nyo kay Father ngayon? Abo. Ano yung abo? Anong babaguhing ugali? Please note that Lent is a journey. Not only outwards, hindi lang yung geographical na nandito ako sa tile na to. Ito, travel yan, no? Correct? Kasi ano yung meaning ng journey natin kanina? Traveling from and to. Correct? So, is this a place? Yes, that is a place. This is my from, this is my to. Did I travel? Did I journey? Yes, that is geographical travel. Gumalaw talaga ako geographically. GPS talagang gumalaw ako. But, also, Lent is about internal journeying. Nakakatakot po. Kung sino ka nung Ash Wednesday, you are still the same person on Easter Sunday. I'm afraid. From point A, Ash Wednesday, chismosa ka. Dumating ang 40 days. Pagdating mo ng Easter Sunday, sa point B, nakakatakot, chismosa ka pa rin. Is that a Lent well spent? No. Because remember, journeying from one place to another. Kung magta-travel ka internally, kung nagsimula kang chismosa, magta-travel kang tahimik na. Right? Kung nagsimula ka, internal, madamot, by Easter Sunday, you have journeyed from madamot to generous. That's the whole point of Lent. That's why the very question is the one inscribed on your foreheads, not the cross, but the abo. And what does abo? Dapat dumiin talaga yun eh. Ano yung tanong ng abo ko? Anong babaguhing ugali? Forgot to put here. Sa parokya po, iniiwasan ako ng mga parishioners ko pag Ash Wednesday. Ayoko kay Father. Bakit? Kasi po pag ako naglagay ng abo, mula sa hairline mo, hanggang dito sa, sa bro mo, tas mula sa sentido mo, pa ganyan. But apart from the little fun out of it, gusto ko kasing bumaon sa parishioners ko, nilagyan kita ng abo, ibaon mo, nilagay ko sa noo mo para di mo makalimutan sa ulo mo, abo, anong babaguhing ugali? Ngayon, tatanungin kita, umabante na tayo sa 40 days. Ikaw, so far, anong nabago mo ng ugali? Father, wala pa. Nako. Tapos tatrabahuhin mo sa remaining less 20 days. Oh. Now you understand? Malinaw tayo? So I am thankful to you that you gave me the theme, Lent is a journey. Apart from journeying with Jesus in His 40 days of Lent, apart from knowing that traveling, journeying pala is from point A to point B, it's not only a geographical or panlabas na movement, it's also internal. Na sana may ugali, may behavior, may attitude also moves from ugali A to ugali B. From something bad to something good. Please remember, Jesus will transform from death, anong tinransform niya? To resurrection. Mula sa pagkamatay hanggang muling pagkabuhay. Siya nagbago. Tapos ikaw hindi. So ask yourself this question this evening before you sleep, abo, anong babaguhing ugali? For the sake of our non-Tagalog speaking, abo, or the basic question of this is, what are you going to change in yourself? What are you going to change in yourself for this season of Lent? Bakit tumahimik kayo? Ha? Okay, may I continue? Malinaw pa po so far yung meaning ng journey? Did I give justice to the word journey as part of our theme? Okay. So remember ha, kung si Jesus nga nag-travel from point A to point B, sana pati ang kalooban natin, ang ugali natin mag-travel from ugali A na something pangit to ugali B, something good or better. So, kanina napag-usapan ng Lent. Okay pa tayo sa Lent? Ano ang pinaghahandaan natin sa Lent? What are we preparing for? Anong araw ang pinaghahandaan natin? Easter. Bakit natin pinaghahandaan ng Easter or Resurrection Day? Salvation, kaligtasan. Very good. Ngayon ang journey, nalaman natin from the dictionary, it is traveling from one place to another. Yes, it is both a geographical moving, kasi nga si Jesus nag-travel din for 40 days, 40 nights, correct? Pero ang invitation sa atin, mag-travel din inwardly, that we move from our sinful selves to our resurrected, kinder selves. And to help us with that, I gave you the thing we impose on your forehead. What is that? Abo. What's the meaning of abo? Very good, my dear students. Pasensya na po kung paulit-ulit ha. I'm a teacher po kasi gusto ko po bumabaon sa kahit wala kayong sinusulat. Now, I will ask your permission because I won't move until it is clear to you. Clear na ang journey? May tanong sa Lent? May tanong sa journey? Am I allowed to proceed to the next topic? What's the next topic? From pilgrims. Picking up where your parish priest, is Father Kevin your parish priest? Picking up from what Father Kevin told us a while ago, he pointed out, bakit may pilgrims dito? Bakit may pilgrims sa team natin? Can you recall? Again, this is the word from, may pinanggalingan from pilgrims. Bakit pilgrims? Because of this. Anong logo ito? Ano po? Jubilee Year of Hope. Okay. Kindly read the green words. Can you understand it? No. Okay, Tagalogin po natin. Basa. This did not give justice to this. Hindi nagbigay hustisya tong Tagalog translation talaga. Kaya punta na lang tayo sa English translation. Last year, the whole of 2025, we were pilgrims of hope. For the whole, naramdaman nyo? Last year, na Jubilee, correct? So many celebrations, right? Now, I wish to ask you, isang taon to ha? Buong 2025? No. 1 year to ha? Ano meaning ng pilgrim? Ano? Akala ko 1 year to. Oh, 1 year ang preparation sa tanong ko. Bakit di masagot? Ay, nako. Nag-celebrate ng Pilgrims of Hope. Di alam yung pilgrim. Okay, we go to dictionary again. Together we read, pilgrim, it's a noun. Together, one who journeys in foreign lands. In short, ang pilgrim, mayaman. Kasi foreign lands di ba? Number 2 meaning of pilgrim. Hindi rin naman pala basta mayaman. Basta nagta-travel to a or ulit, someone who travels as a devotee. Yung mga pumupunta kay Padre Pio sa Batangas, they are going to a shrine and they go there as a, yung mga kababayan nating pumupunta every week sa Batangas, can we consider them pilgrims? Yes, very good. Yung mga nakapunta ng Rome last year, pumunta sa 4 basilicas. Ang basilicas, shrine ba or holy place? Yes. Nag-travel sila doon as a devotee. Can we consider those who traveled to Rome last year as pilgrims? Yes. So, from this Merriam-Webster dictionary meaning of pilgrim, pilgrims are people who travel to shrine or holy places as a devotee. At tayo, nakapunta man sa Rome or hindi, no worries. Pilgrims pa rin po. Bakit? Nag-research po ako sa diocese ninyo. Basa. Diocese of? Alam nyo bang may Jubilee churches kayo last year? Pinuntahan nyo ba? Bakit nginingitian ako ng iba? Hindi na napuntahan? Anyway, dito po sa Philippines, kapag Jubilee po kasi, ang talagang sanang pinupuntahan, awa ng Diyos kung may resources, really the prescribed, punta tayo sa Rome. Why? Kasi po, yung 4 na pintuan doon sa 4 major basilicas ay considered Jubilee doors. At kapag napasok mo yung 4 na yon, you are granted plenary indulgence. Simply put, anytime God calls you after you visited the 4 Jubilee churches in Rome, you are automatically granted entrance to heaven. Wala nang purgatory. Diretso na po ng heaven. Now, the church admits this is quite expensive to go in Rome. Correct? Kaya po, minarapat nila gumawa ng local pilgrim churches. Now, hopefully, napuntahan na Kumuha ba kayo nito? Meron kayo? Napuno nyo? Na hindi daw, sabi. Ayan, no? Diocese of Parañaque, meron pa po kayong Pilgrim's Passport. Encourage for you, really, na kumpletuhin, bisitahin yung pilgrim churches para maranasan nyo yung pagiging pilgrim. To travel to holy places as a devotee. Now, awa po ng Diyos, last year, nakapunta po ako ng Italy. Kasama ko po ang mga pari namin sa Archdiocese of Manila. Ito po, ito ang cathedral ng Santo Papa. This is the St. John Lateran Church. Meron po yan, Jubilidor. Ito po parish priest ko, si Father Cesar Buhat. Ito po ako. Okay? So nakapunta kami dyan. Sa Italy po yan, sa Rome. Ito po, Father Chris, Archdiocese of Manila din. You know where is this? This is in Milan. This is the Cathedral of Milan, the Duomo. It's a very, very big church. At maniwala po kayo, saan gawa ito? Tanong ko, hulaan nyo. Saan gawa tong church nila? Ha? Saan gawa? What material? If you think it's steel, iron, no, it's not. Alam nyo saan gawa? Marble. Di ako makapaniwala. I tell you, marmol. At hindi yung ganitong marble, yung tinatapakan nyo, hindi ho. Yung marble ng Romblon, yung ganong mabibigat. Kaya di ko alam paano yung nagawa 500 years ago. Now, eto po, kaninong church to? St. Carlo Acutis, this is in Assisi naman, in Italy. Nandyan yung kanyang poging katawan. Yung parang natutulog lang, na cutie boy, dito po yan. Now, para sa ng pilgrim? Para sa ng pilgrimage, Father Aldwin? Pilgrimage, together we read. A pilgrimage is a journey to a holy place. This is Wikipedia meaning, which can lead to to a personal, for the last time. Bakit ginastosan ng Archdiocese of Manila? Kayo, bibigyan namin ng 50%, pumunta kayo ng Italy, sagutin niyo yung another 50%, pumunta kayo ng Italy. Bakit kami nilibre ng 50% ni Cardinal Advincula para mag-pilgrimage? Because my bishop hopes that when we go to pilgrimage, umaasa siyang magkakaroon ng personal transformation in hopes na pag kayo pumunta doon sa Italy, when you go to Italy, when you come back to your parish, in San Felipe Neri Parish, you are transformed. You are recharged. Pagkaharap mo yung parishioners, hindi ako nakasimangot. Nakangiti si Father. Bakit? Na-transform ng magagandang churches, na-transform ng kanyang dasal, na-transform ng kanyang pahinga sa Italy. You feel me? That's why ang tunay na nagpipilgrim, hindi nagbabakasyon. Ang tunay na nagpipilgrim, pagbalik niya, mapapansin ng ibang tao, parang blooming ka. Parang lagi ka nang nakangiti. Parang hindi ka na mainit ang ulo. Yun ang pilgrim. Kaya naman, umaasa ang church din, na kung last year nakapag-pilgrim ka talaga, whether in Rome or here in the Diocese of Parañaque, you are kinder to the person beside you. You are kinder to your family members. Ano nangyayari pag walang pahinga? Tama po, pagod. Ano nangyayari pag walang pahinga? Imagine this. Imagine this. Before I get to be assigned in Mandaluyong, I was a formator. Alam niyo po yung formator? Gumagabay po ako sa mga magpapare, sa mga seminarista. Ang hobby ko po, just so you know, badminton. Ginagastusan ko po yung badminton ko talaga. Yan lang ang hobby ko. Kesa kung saan ko gastusin pera ko, lahat binubuhos ko sa hobby ko, sa badminton ko. At least di ako nagkakasala. Now, every MWF, 6 p.m. ang laro ko. MWF, 6 p.m. Ito po yung pinagtataka ko. Pag MWF 6 p.m., mga seminarista ko nandun sa Toyota Revo ko. Nakaabang, nakangiti. Father! Babadminton kayo? Eh, syempre, dala ko yung backpack ko, raketa ko. Oh, bakit? Father, galingan mo ha. May isa pa akong seminarista, bibigyan pa ako ng Gatorade. Father, oh, talunin mo sila, Father. Sabi ko, bakit ang saya nila pag aalis ako? Pag magbabadminton ako? Kung kayo nasa pwesto ko bilang magulang nila sa seminaryo, anong hinuha ninyo? Bakit sila masaya pag aalis ako? It's either may gagawin silang kalokohan or baka lang galit sila sa akin, gusto nila akong umalis. So inobserve ko muna, hindi, baka ngayon lang yan. So dumating Wednesday. Aba, nandun ulit sila. Ibang set naman ngayon. Father, kamusta yung Monday? Natalo mo ba? O ngayon, Father, Powerade naman, di na Gatorade. Baka natalo ka nila sa Gatorade, Powerade naman ngayon. Masasaya na naman sila. Sabi ko, parang may mali. Excited sila pag wala ako. Feeling ko, may kalokohan gagawin to para di ko sila mahuli. So the third time, that week, Friday, 6 p.m., andun na naman sila. But this time, kinonfront ko na sila. My dear seminarians, admit to me, I'm quite offended when you are excited that I will go out of the seminary, that I will play badminton. Tell me nga, bakit? Galit ba kayo sa akin? Are you fed up by my presence? That's why you want me to leave the seminary? Anong sagot ng mga seminarista ko? No, Father. We are very supportive of you playing badminton because sa badminton mo, Father, nare-release lahat ng init ng ulo mo sa amin. Father Alduin, kung alam mo lang, pag bumabalik ka ng 9 p.m., dahil nakahampas ka na, na-release mo na lahat ng galit mo sa kalaban mo, little do you know, Father Alduin, when we get to see you at 9 p.m., when you return, fresh ka na. Nakangiti ka na. Tama po kayo, maaliwalas ka na. Ganon ang nagagawa ng tamang pahinga. Bagamat pagod ako, physically, pero emotionally, mentally, na-release ko. That's why our dearest Cardinal is willing to shoulder 50% of our fare papuntang Italy kasi gusto niya, pagbalik, fresh na si Father, hindi na mainit, ina-approve na yung mga proposals ng PPC. Kuha niyo po ako doon. So that is a pilgrim, a person who knows to take time for himself. Marunong magpahinga, hindi para sa sarili, kung hindi para sa iba. Para magkaroon ng personal transformation. Now, allow me to continue. May I? Everything clear so far about being a pilgrim? Naipagmayabang ko na po kanina na nakatravel na nga ako ng Italy. Merong isang church na gusto kong dalhin kayo. Is that fine with you? Click ko lang po ito, ha? Nakakonect ako sa Bluetooth. Can you see it from the back? Okay. This is a very nice church. You know what is that church? That's the Basilica of San Antonio in Padova, Italy. That is the house of your patron saint, Saint Anthony of Padua. Diyan siya nakalibing. Okay, going back. This is his church. In English, we call it Padua, but in Italy, they call it Padova. This is the church built in his memory. And this church has been standing for roughly, estimate ko lang po if my mathematics serves me right, 500 to 600 years after his death. Remember, he passed away 12th century, 1200s. At pagkatapos noon, tinayuan siya agad ng malaking church. That is how well-loved your patron saint is. Tuloy ko po. This is the inside of his church. I want you to remember this. This is your patron saint. This is a fresco or a mural. Babalikan natin ito mamaya, but tandaan nyo yung ginagawa niya dito, ha? Make a guess kung anong ginagawa niya. Just write it down on your notebooks. Tuloy ko po. Yan po yung loob nung kanina. Can you see how big it is? Okay, para na rin kayo nagpipilgrim for free doon. Allow me to continue. Ito po, si Saint Anthony po iyan. Yun yung maliit na yon, kita nyo po doon. Yan na po si Saint Anthony. Zoom in ko. This is the altar. This is the altar. Palakihin natin ng kaunti. Ito po yung main altar ng dome ni Saint Anthony. And this one, can you see it? Kita nyo po? Sino po ito? Nababasa nyo ito? Anong word ito? Sa mga di makakita sa likod, the word is corpus. Corpus is the Latin word for body. Corpus, body, nino? San Antonii. Possessive form of Antonius. Corpus of Saint Anthony. Dito nakalibing ang inyong patron. And this is me placing the intention of my dearest parishioners. Inidikit ko na, Saint Anthony, dinggin mo naman yung mga dasal ng parokyano ko sa San Felipe Neri Parish. Yung altar, yan yung likod. Tapos dito po, nakikita nyo po itong parang maliit na green na ito, yan po yung kabaong niya. Diyan po siya nakalibing. Diyan ko dinikit yung prayers ng aking parishioners. Now, Father, bakit ka biglang nag-Saint Anthony? Bakit ka biglang nag-Saint Anthony? If we will travel from pilgrims to becoming missionaries, kailangan po natin ng kung mag-journey po tayo, magta-travel po tayo, sorry. If we will travel from being pilgrims to missionaries, we need a tourist guide. And I cannot find any other better tourist guide for this journey rather than your patron saint, who is Saint Anthony. Now, if we will travel to being missionaries, please remember, I want you to bask on the words personal transformation. Kung may isang taong gagabay sa atin, ito ay ang inyong patron. Now, tapatin niyo po ako. I believe this parish has been more than 50 years. Nakikita ko ng 50 doon. And for the past 50 years, the patron saint is Saint Anthony. Wala nang iba. 50 years ago, this is San Antonio de Padua Parish na. Kayo po magpakilala sa akin ng Santo Niño. Saan nyo nakilala si Saint Anthony of Padua? Anong pagkakakilala nyo sa kanya? Saan nyo siya deboto? Nawawalang bagay. For the past 50 years, dun nyo siya kilala na si Saint Anthony, patron ng nawawalang bagay. May I tell you the truth? I have been in Padova. I had seen so many paintings about Saint Anthony. Kita niyo po? Never was there a painting about him finding lost things. Never. Tatapatin ko po kayo, gusto ko pong sirain yung pagkakakilala niyo sa kanya. Na patron lang siya ng nawawalang bagay. Take a look at this painting. Make a guess, what is your patron saint doing there? Sigaw niyo lang sagot niyo. Come again, sir?
Preaching.
Preaching, teaching, nagtuturo. Now, second, anong ginagawa niya ulit? Tignan nyo sa river, ano yung mga nandoon sa river, mga nakadungaw. Isda, anong meron dito? Nangingisda ba siya? No. He is again preaching to the fishes. Ang kwento po niyan, pinadala siya ni Saint Francis of Assisi, o magturo ka sa Northern Italy. Anong sinabi? Ayaw nila ako dun makinig, nayayabangan sa akin. Kaya anong ginawa mo? Tanong ni Saint Francis, pumunta ako sa river, yung pinrepair kong sermon, homily, pinreach ko sa isda. Anong ginawa ng mga isda? Nakinig. Oh, third photo, just to prove it. Mas maraming painting nakausap, nagtuturo siya sa isda, kaysa dun sa painting na nakahanap siya ng nawawalang bagay. Father, syempre, kung nagtutok, kung naghanap ng litrato, nilagay mo lang dyan yung mga pabor sa tok mo. No! I-google ninyo, paintings about Saint Anthony. Wala dun yung, di ba may kwento yan? Lumabas daw yung dragon nung nagnakaw nung libro niya. Wala pong ganong painting. I've been there. I can attest to you. Oh, this one. This is Saint Francis of Assisi. This is Saint Francis. Ito si Saint Anthony. Tanggalin mo si Saint Francis dito, eksena kasi. Anong ginagawa ng mga to? Anong ginagawa ni Saint Anthony together with these Franciscans? Nagtuturo ulit. Kuha niyo ako? Ano ba yung next slide ko? Ganito po ang kwento niyan. Isang araw, si Saint Francis, hindi ko nakikwento paano siya umabot ng Italy. That's quite a long story, but I hope that you know it already. Saan siya pinanganak? Nako, patron nyo to, 50 years na kayo. Saan siya pinanganak? Lisbon, Portugal. Una niyang sinamahan nung nagpari siya, hindi pa agad Franciscans. Ano muna? Very good, Agustinians. Na-inspire siya sa 5 Franciscan martyrs in Morocco. Sabi niya, gusto ko rin maging martyr. Nagpaalam siya sa Agustinians na gusto niyang maging Franciscans. Pumayag ang Agustinians. O sige, padala ka namin sa Morocco. Pagdating ng Morocco, ano nangyari kay Saint Anthony? Malalang sakit. Hindi na ako makakapag-mission, hindi ako makapagturo. Balik na lang ako ng Lisbon, ng Coimbra. Pagdating ng palaot ng dagat, from Morocco, going back to Lisbon, to Portugal, anong nangyari? Inalon yung barko na punta ng Italy. Kaya sila doon nagkatagpo ni Saint Francis of Assisi. Now, isang araw, o sige, sabi dito, a-assign ka namin dahil baguhan ka, galing ka pang Portugal, baguhan ka. Ano ka muna namin? Kasambahay. Sinunod naman po ng inyong patron ni Saint Anthony. Sige po, taga-walis, taga-punas ng table, taga-handa ng mga plato. Pagkatapos kumain, siya rin yung maghuhugas ng pinggan. Isang araw ang event, ordination ng mga Franciscanong pare. Di ba alam nyo po na matagal nang may relationship ang mga Franciscano at Dominicano? So sabi nila, sige, mag-o-ordain tayo ng Franciscan priests. Invite niyo yung mga Dominican, makikain sa atin. Ano ang tawag sa Dominicans? Order of Pakilakas. Order of Preachers, si Saint Dominic at yung mga pari niya kasi magagaling silang mag-preach, kaya nga Order of Preachers. So habang misa, na-ordain na, anong nangyari? Homily part. Homily. Lahat ng pare, umupo. Sabi nila, sabi ng mga Dominicano, sabi ng mga Franciscano, ba't kayo umupo? Kayo ang Order of Preachers. Kayo ang mag-preach, kayo mag-homily. Ano sinagot ng mga Dominicano? Bakit kami? Ang inordain mga paring Franciscano. Sabi ng mga Francis, o nga no, dapat tayo mag-homily kasi tayo nagpa-ordain. Ano ginawa nila? Yung baguhang Saint Anthony of Padua, kinalabit, pwede po kitang kalabitin? Kung mag-homily. Ano sabi? Hindi po ko prepared. Hindi, kung ano lang maisip mo, ano ibigay ng Holy Spirit. Saint Anthony, being obedient, went to the pulpit. And with few words, lahat ng nandun sa ordination, kinilabutan, namangha, naluha. And from then on, ang inyong patron sumikat. Hindi dahil nahahanap niya yung nawawala. Kung hindi dahil ang patron nyo magaling mag-preach, mag-homily, magturo, kaya lahat ng paintings kung babalikan, lagi siyang nagtuturo. Kaya gusto ko pong sirain. Patron namin siya kasi nawawala. Patron ko din po siya pag naghahanap ako parking space. But this time, patron ko na siya bago ako mag-homily. Tignan niyo po itong description sa Wikipedia. Back in Padua, in 1231, Anthony preached his last and most famous sermons. The crowds were so great, sometimes, gaano karami? 30,000! Yung church kanina, yung malaking church, napupuno niya yun. Partida, wala pa nung microphone, wala pa nung sound system. Kilala niyo si Father Dave Concepcion? Ganon ang level ni Saint Anthony of Padua. He is a very, very prolific preacher and teacher, not the patron of those who lost things. Ganong kahusay, katalino ang patron nyo. Kuha nyo ako? Kailan nyo lang ito nalalaman? Ngayon lang? No worries. It's never too late. At least alam nyo. Ito pa po. A bodyguard was needed to protect him from the people. Bakit? Yung mga people daw, armado, armed with scissors, di ba mga nakaabito po kami? Ginugupit. Hanggang sa ang matira sa kanya, ito na lang. Bakit? Kasi nga sobrang galing niya, makakuha man lang ako ng damit. Yung husay niyang magturo, maiuwi ko sa bahay. Kuha niya po ako. Ganon in demand. Bago mag-viral si Father Dave, viral na si Saint Anthony, 30,000. Ako nga lang ilan po tayo ba dito? May 30,000 ba tayo? Si Father Dave ba kaya punuin ng Araneta ng 30,000, you think? Hindi pa. Pero ang patron nyo, sobrang husay magsalita, sobrang galing magturo, alam ang kiliti ng mga tao, kaya niyang punuin yung basilika kanina, 30,000 people. Kaya niyang gawing crazy mga tao, may gunting. Na-imagine nyo, gano'n na lang kagaling yung patron nyo? Dumating na ba sa punto, nagdala na kayo ng gunting para sa mga idol nyong priests? Hindi pa. Pero siya kaya niya. Can you imagine how wise his words are? Inaangat ko po yung patron ninyo na magaling siyang magsalita, magturo, hindi maghanap. Tutuloy ko po. May I continue? According to historian Sophronius Classen, Anthony preached, together we read this word, kaya niyang ituro yung ganda ng pananampalataya natin. His method included allegory, mga kwento-kwento, symbolisms, explanation. Kaya kaya niyang punuin yung 30,000. Pakiwari ko ho, yung patron ninyo pag nagbibigay ng recollection, alam niya din yung McDonald's Kentucky Fried Chicken para lang makuha atensyon ng mga tao. That's how good your patron saint is. Ito po, in 1228, he served as envoy to Pope Gregory IX. At the papal court, his preaching was hailed as jewel. Ano yung jewel? Alahas. Lalagyanan, jewel case of the Bible. Magandang pinaglagyan ng Bible. Kasi kaya niyang i-present yung Bible na nauunawaan ng mga tao. Nakikita niyo ba gaano kahusay patron niyo? Paulit-ulit na lang to. Kasi hindi talaga siya tagahanap. Tagaturo po siya. Before nung nagpe-pray kanina si Father Kevin, di ko alam kung may nakapansin saan ako nakaharap. I was facing your patron saint there, at your right. Saint Anthony, kung anong husay mo dati, share mo ng kaunti sa akin. Hindi naman para sa akin to, para sa mga anak mo dito sa Valley 2. Ano ba kayo? Valley 1? Valley 1. So bigyan mo ko ng kaunting husay mo for this evening for your sons and daughters, not for me. I was talking to him. Kasi ganun ko na siya kilala. Hindi na sa parking space. Hindi na sa nawalang susi. Ito pa po, Ark of the Testament. Alam niyo yung Ark? Lalagyan na siya ng Bible. Imagine mo pagtawagin kang para kang lalagyanan ng Bible. Hindi dahil magaling kang gumanyan, kung hindi, kaya mong dalhin yung Bible kahit saan ka magpunta. You know how amazing your saint now is? Galing, no? Dapat mas alam nyo to eh. Father, bigyan mo nga kami ng proof na talagang magaling siya. He died together. Ito ba piyesta nyo? Ito piyesta nyo? June 13, 1231. 35 years old lang po siyang pumanaw. Now, sino may cellphone? Malakas po signal dito. Pwedeng paki-research. Si St. John Paul II, mula sa kanyang kamatayan hanggang makanonize siya, ilang taon? How many years before St. John Paul II was canonized? Anyone? Sa mga youth dito, paki-research, mabilisan. May isang youth nagre-research na tungkol naman kay Carlo Acutis. Oh, meron na dito kay St. John Paul. Pakihanap naman kay Carlo Acutis. Sige, si St. John Paul II, kilala niyo po si St. John Paul II? From his death until canonization, ilang taon?
9 years.
9 years. Okay, that's quite short ha? Susunod po, Carlo Acutis. Alam mo ate? Yes.
5 years.
5 years. Last one. Let's give, sinong popular saint? Pagpalagay natin search natin, Francis of Assisi. From his death until canonization. Francis of Assisi. Yung boss ni Saint Anthony. Ha? 2 years. Okay. So, pinakamaikli. Si Saint Francis of Assisi, from the point of death until canonization, 2 years. John Paul II, 9 years. Carlo Acutis, tingnan nyo patron nyo. 1231, died. 1 year. 1 year after nito, anong date dapat yon? June 13, 1232. Pero kailan siya na-canonize? Umabot ba ng 1 year? Ilan lang yan? 11 months lang, halos. Why? Dahil ba nakita yung nawawalang gamit ni Pope? Hindi, dahil sobrang sikat ng patron yun noon, madali siyang maging santo kasi nga tumatak lahat ng tinuro niya sa mga tao. Nabenta ko na ba na hindi siya magaling sa paghahanap, na magaling siya sa pagtuturo? Kaya na fast track ang canonization niya, talo niya yung boss niya. buhay pa si Francis of Assisi, yung alagad niya, santo na. Kita nyo yon? Kung ako si Francis of Assisi, aba nakaka-proud. Isa sa mga anak ko na naging santo na, hindi dahil nahanap yung nawawalang susi, kung hindi magaling magturo, magaling mag-homily, magaling magsalita. Father, where are you leading us in your topic this evening? My dear brothers and sisters, sabi ni Father kanina, magiging shrine kayo, correct? At darating na rin po ang fiesta ninyo, correct? Magyayabang kayo sa Facebook, outreach program, San Antonio de Padua Parish, feeding of the hungry, going to prison, going to hospital, recollection. If you think, kamangha-mangha na yon bilang mga anak ni Saint Anthony, I beg to differ. Kung ako po ang patron ninyo na magaling magsalita, mas gugustuhin po pakiwari ko sa research ko sa patron ninyo, mas gugustuhin niya ang mga anak niya sa San Antonio de Padua Parish, hindi magaling sa pagtulong sa mahirap, hindi magaling sa pagpunta sa ospital, hindi magaling sa pagbibigay ng pera, mas mamarapati ni Saint Anthony of Padua ang mga taga San Antonio de Padua Parish mahusay sa kanilang pananalita. And what do I mean by that? Huwag kayo mandire. Ngipin yan ng patron ninyo. Yan yung jaw niya, panga. Kita niyo ho? Ito, yan yung panga niya. Kita niyo po? Ito, kuha ko talaga to. Litrato ko talaga to. Ito yung kuha ko sa Google. At hindi ko lang nahanap kasi nagmamadali na yung tour guide namin. Liban dito, may isang part ng katawan niya na incorrupt. Alam niyo pa yung incorrupt? Hindi naaagnas, hindi nalusaw. Di ba pag tayo pumanaw, lahat ng flesh, muscle, umiimpis, nawawala. Hanggang sa matira bungo. May isang part ng katawan niya, lahat na tuyo, liban sa isang part. Hindi nasira. Bagamat ng itim, kasi kalumaan, pero hindi natunaw. Ano po iyon? The tongue. Ang dila ng patron ninyo. Hindi dahil nahanap niya, kung hindi dahil marunong siyang magturo. Mahusay siya sa kanyang salita. That's why if there is a mission that I wish to leave you from your patron saint, our tourist guide, journeying from pilgrims to missionaries, kung may isa kayong misyon, bantayan po ninyo ang inyong mga salita. Bantayan po ninyo ang inyong mga salita. Uulitin ko po, kung talagang patron nyo siya, tinuturing nyo siyang ama dito sa Valley 1, bantayan po ninyo ang inyong mga salita. Pakibasa po yung nasa kaliwa. Kanan. Alam nyo bakit hindi naagnas dila ng patron po ninyo? Kasi ang lumalabas lang sa bibig ng patron ninyo ay yung totoo at yung kaibig-ibig. Ang lumalabas lang sa dila at bibig ng patron ninyo ay yung totoo at yung kaibig-ibig. Hindi nasira. Bakit? Hindi niya nilagyan ng pangit yung dila niya. Anong kabaliktaran ng totoo? Kasinungalingan. Anong kabaliktaran ng kaibig-ibig? Kapani-panakit. Never did your saint said lies. Never did your saint told hurtful things. Kaya siya mabilis naging santo. Ang bibig niya, ginamit niya lang sa totoo at pagmamahal. Hindi niya ginamit sa kasinungalingan at paninira. Kaya kung magyayabang sa akin ng San Antonio de Padua Parish, hindi ang outreach program. Hindi ganyan nakilala patron ninyo. Hindi yung visit to the poor, visit to the hospital, visit to prisoner. Hindi yan ginawa ng patron ninyo. Ang ginawa ng patron natin, binantayan niya yung mga salitang lalabas sa kanya. Kaya to be real missionaries of St. Anthony of Padua, bantayan ng salita. Kung ang sasabihin mo lang naman ay kasinungalingan, gagawa ng kwento, maninira, mananakit ng iba. On behalf of St. Anthony, your patron with a tongue na hindi nasira, on behalf of St. Anthony, kung puro kasinungalingan, paninira, chismis, paggawa ng kwento sa iba, I tell you this, learn to shut your mouth up. Kung yung sasabihin mo, hindi totoo, tikom mo yung bibig mo. Kung yung sasabihin mo, chismis, o gagawa ka ng kwento, o ikikwento mo ulit yung narinig mong kwento, on behalf of St. Anthony, kagatin mo yung dila mo. And if you will open that mouth, if you will let that tongue speak, 2 words should only come out of those tongues. Words that are rather loving and truthful. Malinaw po tayo doon. Yon ang misyonero ni San Antonio. Sinasabi ang kaibig-ibig, sinasabi ang totoo. Kung may sinungaling dito, kung may chismosa dito, kung may gumagawa ng kwento dito, kung may naninira dito, pasintabi po, masasaktan kayo sa sasabihin ko. Hindi kayo pwedeng maging anak ni San Antonio. Kung patron nyo lang siya kasi may nawawalang bagay, pasintabi po ulit sa sasabihin ko, ang babaw ng debosyon nyo sa patron ninyo. Kasi ang patron ninyo, sikat sa Lisbon, sikat sa Padova, kung saan siya nagmisyon, magaling magsalita. At nung nagsalita, ang nakikilala ng mga tao, walang iba kung hindi si Kristo. Kaya mas gugustuhin ko ang parishioners ng San Antonio de Padua hindi nagsisinungaling, sinasabi ang totoo. Kung may nakitang hindi kaaya-aya sa iba, dinidirekta yung tao out of love, hindi pinapaikot yung kwento. Pwede ako manghula. Pwede ako manghula. Hula lang to May mga taong nakaupo dito kasi yung kaaway nila nandito. May mga nakaupo dito kasi yung kaaway nila nandito. Huwag gumite, baka ma-obvious. At bakit nangyari yon? Kasi hindi nabantayan yung dila. Yan ang mission natin. Okay? Kaya sana po, mas gusto kong ituring na patron saint si St. Anthony. St. Anthony, bigyan mo ko lakas ng loob na masabi ko kay Father Kevin yung proposal. Help me to be creative and wise with my words to convince him. Kung alam mong yan yung para sa tama ng parokya. St. Anthony, turuan mo ako sa words ko para makorek or para matulungan ko yung parishioner, yung co-parishioner ko, kaysa siraan ko at paikutin ko yung kwento. Kuha niyo ako doon? So sinasabi ni St. Anthony, use that tongue of which na-preserve sa katawan niya. Use those tongues only for the truth and love. Gamitin lang ang dila para sa totoo at mga bagay na kaibig-ibig. Pero kung puro kasinungalingan, chismis, kwento, paninira, tikom nyo yung bibig nyo. Kaya panatag ako, after this talk, wala kayong masasabing pangit. Ay, di ko pwede sabihin kasi sabi ni Father Aldwin. Wala kayong masasabing pangit. Kung wala kayong masasabing maganda, tikom nyo na lang yung bibig nyo, no? Gusto ko sanang sabihin, ang haba ng talk niya eh. Gutom na ako, pero di ko pwede sabihin. Okay? So, basically, that's it. Hopefully, na-cover natin lahat. Let's go back to our home slide. Let's go back to our home slide. Were we able to tackle what Lent is? This is a season of, letter P. Season of? Season of? Letter P, English. Tagalogin natin, letter P pa rin, panahon ng paghahanda. Anong pinaghahandaan mo? Anong araw? Easter. Bakit? Anong meron sa Easter? Salvation. Very good. So we can proceed. Ang Lent, sabi natin, isang journey. Ano sinabi ng dictionary sa journey? It is a movement, a travel. Both geographical, kasi sinasamahan natin yung geographical travel ni Jesus. 40 days in the desert. Pero palalimin natin. Lent is an invitation for us to travel also inward. From ugali, letter A, to something good na ugali, letter B. Si Jesus namatay, nag-travel, nag-journey, namatay to point B, muling pagkabuhay. So sana, kung nag-journey tayo sa Lent, ano yung tanong na binaon ko sa noon ninyo nung Ash Wednesday? Abo, ano yung itatanong sa sarili? A, B, O, together? Anong babaguhing ugali? Ano yung itatravel ko from ugali A to ugali B? Nasana yung ugali B? Mas mabait na version natin. Malino tayo sa journey? Na-cover natin yung journey? Now, what is a pilgrim? A person who travels to holy places as a devotee. At, ano yung in-example ko kanina? Ang nagpipilgrim, sabi ni Wikipedia, mayroong ang mga nagpipilgrim nagkakaroon ng personal transformation. Pinapaalala, bigyan ng oras ang sarili, magpahinga. Para kapag nakapagpahinga, nagka-personal transformation, pagbalik sa bahay, pagbalik sa parish, pagbalik sa office, maaliwalas, fresh, nakangiti na, hindi na nakasimangot. So learn to have your own pilgrimage, not only to holy places, but your rest. Magpahinga in your own way. Ako, pilgrimage ko, badminton, because it transforms me, renews me. Malinaw tayo doon? At nag-pilgrimage tayo, saan ko kayo dinala kaninang church? Sa Padua. Nung nagpunta tayo doon, binalikan natin mga paintings. Anong nakita nating painting ng patron ninyo? Lagi siyang nagpipreach, nagtuturo to the point na sobrang galing niya magturo. Sino nakinig sa kanya? Isda. Kita nyo yon? Ganong kahusay si St. Anthony. May painting ba kanina na may dragon na nakahanap ng nawawalang libro? Wala. Yung 30,000 ba, kaya siya naging viral noon dahil nahanap mga nawawala nila? Hindi. Bakit sila sumunod sa kanya? May dala pang gunting. Kasi magaling mag-preach, magturo, magsalita. Kaya nga nung nakanonize siya, ilang taon? Hindi pala taon, ilang buwan? 11 months, mabilis. Bakit? Nahanap niya ba yung corona ng Pope? Bakit siya kinanonize ng ganong kabilis? Magaling magturo, magaling sa salita. Sobrang galing niya magturo, magsalita nung pumanaw at binalikan yung kabaong, anong nakitang di na agnas? Tinuturo sa atin ng ating patron ni San Antonio, bantayan ng ating salita. Ibubuka lang ang bibig, magsasalita lang kung ang sasabihin ay katotohanan at mga bagay na kaibig-ibig. Kung chismis, kwento, paninira, learn to shut your mouth up. Itikom mo yung bibig mo. Kaya anong mission natin? Bantayan ng salita, ang misyon natin bilang isang parokya. Open my mouth only if it is the truth and only if it is loving. Amen? Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit. Remain seated. The Lord be with you. And may the Almighty God bless you, the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Maraming salamat po.
Father, we can only be truthful now and loving. Thank you so much. I would like to give you some. Picture.
Thank you po. Thank you po.
Thank you so much, Father Olmo. Ang mga kapatid, wag na po daw kayong umalis. We're going to have a photo op.